Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Jessie, and welcome to my Tiny Talks podcast, the show where we'll dive into self-love, inner child healing, and discovering your soul's purpose. I look forward to chatting with you every single week and helping you grow exponentially in all areas of your life. Without further ado, here's today's Tiny Talk. Hello, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of Tiny Talks. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling like we're on episode 22. I can't wait to dive into today's content with you guys, and I'm just celebrating hitting 22 episodes. I think that is so exciting and phenomenal, especially considering most podcasts that are started only last between 15 and around 20 to 21 episodes, and baby, we just past that milestone and we are just getting started. So I am so excited for today. So for today's episode, it is going to be all about digging into those things that make our soul and our heart and just ourselves truly, truly happy, and not those things that are goal-driven or have an expectation around them, but simply those things that just make ourselves happy. So for today, we are going to be asking ourselves 4 questions to tap into those things that make your soul happy. And so beginning to learn what makes us truly happy really can be tough sometimes, especially if we've been in a rut of not knowing what makes us happy, or we've been on autopilot, or we've just been going through the motions of everyday lives and not bringing awareness to those things that really do fill our cup, that tap into our inner child, that makes our heart happy, that makes our soul happy. And so I know for a large amount of us, the pandemic really has reshaped a lot of our interest in the things that do make us happy, and a lot of us have grown substantially during this time. I know personally I did pretty much a 360 with my identity and my areas of interest and my values and my beliefs and just a lot of things. So for today, it's going to be a hands-on episode where I would definitely encourage you guys to grab a journal, grab a pen, sit down with yourself, and just join along the journey with me. So the first thing that I want you to do, the first question or activity that I want you to do to help tap into those things that make your soul happy is to write a list of the things that immediately come to your mind when you think of the things that you love. So I encourage you to take 5 to 10 minutes or however long you want. That's the thing. There is no rules to this exercise. And I just want you to scribble out, what do I love? What comes to mind? Grab different colors, maybe grab a fun color paper, different pens, and just write those things down. And don't censor yourself. Nobody's going to read this. Nobody's going to see this. So write down everything that comes to your mind. And often, a big part of the problem is that we don't give ourselves the time and space that we truly need to identify the things that we enjoy. And we very rarely reflect on the things that fill us up. And it's oftentimes until we get to a point of frustration or an empty cup or low vibration that we do those things that make us happy. However, if we just begin to do those things on a day-to-day basis or on a every other day basis, the more that we're being proactive in filling ourselves up and our soul and our heart of the things that make us happy. So just some quick examples of how simple this is. Some things that come to my mind: essential oils, taking a bath, my dog, yummy food, podcasts, yoga, nature, the smell and the taste of coffee, empowering women, my heating pad. I have that blasting behind me right now. It is like my favorite thing in the world. So you can see it's very, very quick. It's things that come to your mind that you just know make you happy. And this list doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else because you know what those things are that make you feel happy. And as you just heard, mine is a mix of all sorts of activities and things and random things. And you can organize this later if you would like, as far as things that involve other people, things that are hands-on, things that can be done in a relaxed manner, whatever it is. So the aim of this question is to give yourself the uninterrupted space and thoughts to just reflect and to think on the things that bring you joy. And even when I was saying those things that bring me joy, you should hear it in your voice. You should feel it in your heart. It should feel light. It should feel fluffy, because those are the parts of your identity that make you, you, and that make you happy. So prepare that list for yourself. The second question or thought or thing to think about is, if you think back to your childhood, your inner child, when you were younger, what did you do in your spare time? So think back to your childhood or your teen years and ask yourself, what did I do for fun? What were the activities that you were interested in when there was no pressure from the outside world? What were the games that you loved to play? What were the things that you liked to do with your friends? Right? Where did your mind like to go when you were younger? For me, when I was younger, I loved sports, especially as a teenager. I did play every school sport. When I was a bit younger than that, I loved to write silly songs and poems and to be creative and to do art. I would make up dance routines with my cousins and silly videos and things like that. So what are those things that you used to love to do? Perhaps you like to color, you like to bake or read books or get outside. The thing again with this list is there's no restrictions for what comes up with you, right from your heart. The aim of this question is to help you remember the things that used to bring you joy. Or even more importantly, maybe the things that you've forgotten to make space for in your life as you've grown. And again, connecting to our inner child is not only super nostalgic, but it also allows us to connect with our little selves and those happy memories that we still hold on to and have. Going back to me saying I used to make silly dance routines and silly videos with my cousins. Even today, in today's age, making reels on Instagram or TikToks, that's something that I think truly makes me happy because I grew up doing that. It's something that my soul has just always loved, and I'm now able to take that into adulthood while educated on subjects that I'm passionate about. So what are those things that you love to do as a child? Number 3, what are you curious about? What are some of the things that you're interested in learning about? So again, grab your notebook and your pen and ask yourself, what am I curious about? What would I like to know more about? What interests me? What do I hear and I just want to know more about? What's something that's always kind of caught my attention, but I've never taken the time to dive into that? Oftentimes, as we grow older and as we become adults, we don't put enough value on the things that just simply interest us. We're so focused and overvalued on doing the things that are quote unquote productive or move us towards a specific goal. And I know that I'm very guilty of this. I don't have time to do fun things. I don't have time to just do silly things. But the thing is that in order to be productive and to hit our goals, we do have to tap into our inner child. We do have to do things that lift our soul, or we're not going to show up as the best version of ourselves when we're trying to accomplish our goals or to be productive. And again, the main aim of this question is to help you tap into the things that you might not know yet that you love. Because again, when COVID hit, we all dove deep to find a hobby or things to do. But we don't have to have a world pandemic to pause and to ask ourselves and to reflect and to dig and to find those things that we truly love and to tap back into that or to find new hobbies. And number 4, what would your dream day look like? What a fun question to ask ourselves, to visualize on, to meditate on. So ask yourself, if I was away from all the pressure of the real world, and money didn't exist, and responsibilities didn't exist, and all those things, it's such a fun question to ask ourselves. What would my dream day look like? And I encourage you to go into as much detail as you can, because again, just like manifestation or dreaming of our dream life, it's so important that we get crystal clear on what that would look like. How would that feel in our body? What do we look like? What is there? What are we doing? For me, it would include some definitely dream days would be living in nature, traveling in a van, dancing outside, painting, playing with my family outside, being one with nature in the rivers, playing music. That for me would just be a dream day with a bunch of fresh food and fruit from the garden. That would be a dream day. So ask yourself, again, the main goal of this question is to help you picture the things that you love. It's so easy for us to go into our mind and tell ourselves those things. But the thing is if we can think that, we can make that a reality. But if we don't even know what a dream day would look like for us, what are we working towards? We need to work towards that. It's a more practical way to envision it. And it allows us to just allow our mind to flow for a moment, to drift off. But the thing is again, anything that we think our dream life could look like, it can look like that. And it gives us a visualization of something to work towards. So once you've sat down and asked yourself these 4 questions, I encourage you to give each of them the time and thoughts that they deserve. I encourage you to come back to your list and to reflect on it. Do your best to look for opportunities to include these things in your life. Find the time to tap into those things that you listed that you love to do. Find time to do those things every single day. We all deserve so deeply to have a life just enlightened with the things that we love to do. If we are all just living to work, to pay bills, to do this, to do that, we truly aren't living, and we aren't living in alignment. So take the time to dig deep, find those things, focus on them, find the time to do them. Again, we are all only guaranteed we are only guaranteed one chance on this planet. We have one chance to live our life to our full capacity, and we are oftentimes so focused on just the end result of just grinding, of hitting our goals, of doing all these things. But it's also so important that we truly find those things that we love to do and that we do them often. Because again, that is how we show up as the best version of ourselves. We cannot show up as the best versions of ourselves if we are pouring from an empty cup. So focus on those things. Do the brain dump. List all those things that you love. Connect to your inner child. What did you used to love to do? What are you curious about? And what would your dream day look like? Sit with that. Meditate on that. Be with yourself and notice what comes up for you. You are so worthy to take the time to do each and every one of those things that fills your cup, because that is what makes you uniquely you. I'm sending you all so much love and kindness. We are so close to spring. We are just shy of a week away, and I am so excited for some longer days, some more sunshine, some more weather. That is definitely when I thrive the most, but I truly hope that you are all having an incredible day, and I look forward to chatting with you all next week. Bye, you guys. Thank you all so much for tuning into this week's episode of Tiny Talks. If you're looking to connect, you can find me on Instagram at JessieBrown13. I look forward to chatting with you all next week. And remember, get out of your head and into your heart.